Well, they all had issues with the Channel Awesome movies, but now they're rid of them. They have full creative control, so now there's no excuses, and I'm sure this is going to be a masterpiece.
No!
Well, they all made their films, some better than others, but then in 2018, Change the Channel happened. A bunch of the former producers at Channel Awesome filed their grievances with the company, which I've already covered in previous reviews and videos, but then those affected decided to come together to make something else. Channel Awesome had been preparing their 10-year anniversary film at the time of the mass exodus, so the Change the Channel crew decided to give everyone a chance to work together anyway by putting together an audio drama, because they couldn't afford to fly everyone out together. But honestly, it's not a bad idea. It does have a lot of potential and allows them to write whatever they want and be really creative. Written and directed by Linkara, A Voice from the Dark tells the story of a bunch of the former Channel Awesome producers mysteriously being invited out to Scarsdale Manor, a spooky old mansion before, well, if you've seen The Haunting or House on a Haunted Hill or The Woman in Black or The Innocents or Scary Movie 2 or any generic spooky house movie in history, you know the drill, creepy shit happens. However, not everyone actually came back for this, and they even acknowledge it.
Where's Brandon Tenold? Or Joe? Or Masako?
He had plane tickets too?
That's what Film Brain said, but he didn't want to risk it.
If we had one more member, like Panda, Holly, Fail, and Ali...
I think we can assume, given how many of us did come, that everybody who used to be on the site got an invite. It's just some people decided not to follow the mysterious summoning to the random haunted house with vague promises of riches.
Allegedly, there were parts written in for Phalis and Obscurus Looper, but for whatever reason, I guess he was busy making content and she was busy building her Brad Jones voodoo doll collection, so their parts were instead given to Welshie and Nella. That chick with the goggles was given a part initially, but this also never materialised. The whole idea for the special was even from Leslie Rice, but even he ended up dropping out due to personal reasons. There's also no Lindsay Ellis because she got too famous to give a shit.
Probably, yeah.
And it is very obvious that it was written by Linkara because most of the drama is taking pot shots at Channel Awesome.
Everybody who used to be on the site?
At least we got an actual apology this time.
It was always kind of like that when we got together for the anniversaries.
And there was that big talent drive that brought a lot of the new producers on.
You're no better than the site was.
Never really got a chance to meet any of you when I was on the site.
Doing the anniversary stuff again?
Every time all of us get together, something bad happens.
I wanted to have those anniversaries again.
Isn't it nice that we only get together when someone we thought was our friend betrays us?
We were brought into the site.
Us being together was the good part of those anniversaries.
And they even treat Channel Awesome like Voldemort.
Almost feels like we're in the middle of one of those adventures, you know, from when we were with...
Don't say it.
I don't have any traumatic stories or incidents to reveal here. While my experience with Channel Awesome hasn't always been perfect, I never experienced any kind of abuse or any kind of trauma.
And apparently, according to Linkara himself, this was out of fear that Channel Awesome would sue them. Yeah, because at that point, nobody had ever slandered them on the internet before. It's not that deep, man. It's because of the constant jabs that this just seems like a bitter tirade to continue attacking their former colleagues, and it just comes across as desperate and pathetic. Diamanda Hagen has this running joke of her being bitter that she was never invited to the anniversary specials, even though she was in the 5th one, but we don't talk about that one. Some joke with the camera is in this one.
Now you might be asking yourself, why am I asking myself questions instead of posting a comment asking the person whose video I'm watching a question?
Well, at least it can't get much worse.
Ah! Oh, I'm sorry, man. I wasn't paying attention to where I was going.
Even his audio quality is
Oh, I'm some jerk with a camera.
Did you name yourself after a negative comment that someone made?
And you will notice that Erod does get a few funny lines every now and then, but he just messes up the delivery every time.
Any luck finding a secret passage?
Oh, plenty of those. I'm pretty sure these orifices aren't possible anything from Earth.
I'm gonna stop talking to you now.
Can he do anything right? But he's not alone. I love Mike Jevons, but even he's recording his audio through a potato.
Whoever did this has a fortune behind them. And hey, wouldn't be the first time we had a rich fan.
How do you agree to doing an audio drama without having good audio equipment?
I wish we could at least see better.
I wish your microphone quality was better. It's not a bad idea to get everyone back together, but without the insane costs of flying them all to one location. I'll give them that, if the conversations were even remotely interesting.
The planet is like an old medieval village, but the 3 rulers are vampires.
I thought you said they were giant-sized and they could drink the blood of an entire planet in one bite.
I haven't really watched that much Doctor Who, but I have been reading up on a few post-apocalyptic novels.
See, this is my problem. They bitched about the Channel Awesome movies, said how they were, how incompetent they were, how poorly written they were. They pointed out all these issues with the movie's script, cinematography and all of this, and plot points. And then they go and do their own thing, full creative control, only to do the exact same thing again. To boldly flee is too long, so they make an audio drama that's 3 hours. They say Channel Awesome is painfully unfunny.
Well, good evening then, Kaluna. I am the Maven of the Eventide.
Hey, brother from another mother, check out these custom t-shirts I designed with us, hugging on them. The fan art people make must be immortalized.
Oh hey, those cracks in the bricks over there look like a smiley face. Ha!
Yeah, same old. You're an instrument of destruction, tool of foul play.
They say Channel Awesome just do random pop culture references.
We were just talking about horror movies, and in particular how the Saw series is terrible and overcomplicated.
You ever see a zombie movie where people survive by running away from the zombies or hiding from the zombies?
Somehow that connected to Rudolph and Frosty's Christmas in July?
Gotta say, this has been my least favorite Haunted Mansion refurb so far.
I'm pretty sure this conversation actually started with them talking about Hellraiser movies.
Are you actually Ravenclaw?
Well, not really. I'm technically a houseless muggle. Now my associate Terrence, he is in Ravenclaw. He's a real douchebag, though.
Has there even been a good Texas Chainsaw movie after the first one?
And they bitch about Channel Awesome sketches going on too long, but I shit you not. The first 18 minutes of this drama is introductions. 18 minutes of people talking about movies, talking about their videos.
I was one of the remaining music guys. Rocked. Don't suppose he ever saw it.
Nah, Luke, sorry. I kind of fell behind on a lot of people's videos after I stopped doing my own show.
You ever miss it, Paul?
Yeah, but it's a matter of free time and money, and I never really got the numbers that some people got, and while I had fun with it, well, life takes priority, especially when you've got a family. I came mostly just to get caught up with people.
Do something, for the love of God!
Is that normal that this is all we talk about when we get together?
No, usually it's Channel Awesome.
I was suspicious of the invitation, but when I asked Linkara about it, he said he was coming to check it out, so I figured it'd be fine.
And another sign that Linkara wrote this, because it continues their trend of, hey, look at us, we're good people, look at me, I'm a good man, we're not Doug, we're not Channel Awesome, look at us, wee-hoo!
Look, before we all get back to it, I just want to say again, I'm sorry.
And Mars Girl still can't act. She can't even voice act. Who gave her a platform?
I think this conversation started with us talking about how weird it was that these hallways already have candles lit in the lanterns. I mean, everyone being in a room like this again. A lot of people here I never really met when I was on the site. I'm sorry, I didn't realize shut up sounded like keep talking. Here, let me make it clearer.
Every word is unconvincing. How do you up this many times continuously and still try? Just stop uploading.
Does anyone have a gag or something?
Oh, wish. At least Lewis learned his lesson and spelled her name correctly in the credits this time, I suppose. Every single person gets an introduction, gives their thoughts on a movie or a brief analysis of their history with the site, because I guess they wanted to show that, unlike Channel Awesome, they were going to highlight their talent. But this isn't how you pace a story, guys!
I'm sure we'll know for certain what's up once we get the script.
Script?
Yeah, for the crossover. God, I hope it's not as long as the space one. That was like watching a mini-series.
It was a mini-series. And it was only half an hour longer than this! How are you not self-aware? It's also weird that they still acknowledge the events of the Channel Awesome films to be canon despite claiming to have been abused on them. And they refer to them as anniversary specials, but in the storylines of the films, they're not referred to them as such, other than Doug as himself at the end of To Boldly Flee, and I'm looking far too much into these, aren't I?
Wow.
This is the thing. As I said before, the anniversary films were a great way to broaden your audience and show your comedic skills to get noticed. But here, it's only audio, and it's often difficult to make out who these people are. I have no idea who about 60% of the cast are, so I've got no obligation to check any of them out, especially when the script is dog puke. Without their names on the screen, I'll just forget, even when they spend 6 months detailing all of their backstories.
Attention, everyone!
Although Linkara asking everyone for attention Pretty ironic, I have to say. And I know it's an audio drama, but you would have thought they'd at least put some kind of effort into the YouTube version. The sound design is actually pretty good, but they suffer an earthquake and this is all we see. No animation, no stock footage, nothing. All you needed to do was this.
The former producers of...
What the hell?
Earthquake! Oh, look at the walls, they're shifting around!
Go for the door, let's get out of here.
That took like 5 minutes, Lewis, but Channel Awesome are the lazy and incompetent ones. There's other points too where action is taking place or even someone is reading a spooky story. We don't get any animation, we don't get any images or stock footage, it's just their face. Now you could argue, well, it's an audio drama, use your imagination, but if that's the case, why bother having anything on the screen then? They clearly wanted to include the bare minimum because they just couldn't be arsed. Even in scenes he's not in, Linkara involves himself. That's the thing, it's just the Channel Awesome films again, but Doug is now Linkara without the talent. They all insulted Doug for his ego, but this is the same thing. It turns out Linkara is the one who invited them all there. It's the same movies.
It's like watching the same damn YouTube clip over and over.
Glad you're self-aware.
Put me on speakerphone.
Oh, right. One moment.
Hey, dudes, I think we all need to focus on getting out of this place.
Gee, thanks for that, Lewis. Where would we be without you? Genius. I mean, at least Eliza is trying her best, bless her. Before they all head towards a screen because they're all morons. Before Erod quickly reminds us all why he was never invited to an anniversary movie.
The walls have fallen and our intrepid heroes are trapped. Will they make it out of this one alive or will they succumb to this?
Erod.
Nothing he says is convincing. He's almost as bad as Mars Girl.
Oh, another set of doors. I wonder where these lead. Holy Hades. I could fit 2 of my own house in a library this big.
Almost.
Is this true?
Okay, it's close. How the hell did Dominic Mysterio sound more convincing when he was like 10?
Is it true, Dad? Is it really true?
This guy Lovecraft, I guess, is marginally funny. He keeps reciting some creepy-ass riddles while everyone else is doing the physical work attempting to find a way out. But when they have a petty argument and then suck each other's dick and give a heartfelt apology afterwards, it's just pathetic.
Good work, team.
Indeed. Sorry about that joke. Just got a little bit frustrated there.
Thanks. And yeah, it was good hanging out and talking with you, too.
It genuinely is a 3-hour special of them caressing their own balls and pointing out how they're awesome people.
Oh my god!
What is it? What?
Linkara ate all the celery!
I don't think he did. Oh, and they keep using the exact same scream sound effect multiple times. The sheer laziness is embarrassing. Diamanda just bullies this minion of hers. Is it ever funny?
Would have thought you'd be used to that sound in Afghanistan.
Of course not, mistress. If we got used to it, then the pain and anguish would become boring and bring you less satisfaction.
Correct answer. As a reward, I grant you 2 minutes of sitting quietly.
I shall use them to look upon you with admiration and desire, my mistress.
No! She has one joke. She's crude and likes sex.
These orifices are naked, of course. You want to hear about the many interesting places in the human body you can put multiple squashes into? There's a lot of screwing to be had.
Lady mentioned sex. Funny. It's funny.
I'm sorry, I think I just went off on a tangent.
This whole movie is a tangent.
The whole thing's probably a big setup. Get a bunch of internet personalities and me and...
Personalities.
Not a fan of Burger King, are you?
It's a long story. Well, I mean, it's 23 minutes long, but the short of it is I reviewed a Burger King game, and the Burger King himself starved me out and sucked my mind into another dimension.
Isn't this a riveting story? Although I will admit, a talking doll shows up, and this is a pretty funny reaction.
This is a talking doll.
But it's okay to admit when they're ripping stuff off.
Truly, lasting friendships are built on beating Chucky knockoffs to death.
Straight down to a Universal Frankenstein movie.
They even have ghosts kill themselves over and over again, reliving their final moments. None of this is original. We even get the cliche skeptic trope. None of this is new. And I hate to compliment you-know-who, but this is pretty funny.
Shouldn't be underestimated. I mean, it was able to get up and stab that high up on his back. We don't just want to rush up and...
Before she ruins it.
So sick of crap like this! I am so tired of us getting together and it just results in stuff like this! Go to hell!
The sad thing is, I can just imagine all of them sitting down to record this and thinking it's such a unique idea. I mean, this was posted on a channel of nearly 150,000 subscribers, and as the parts progress, they get less and less views. Hell, one of the producers, Bargain Boy, posted this on his channel and then seemed to vanish off the internet not long after. I think this killed him.
What are you doing here?
My name's Sally. I'm a sound technician. I was hired for the party. Now, please, we gotta go before they get here.
Sound technician for the party? The one we're all invited to?
No, the Boston Tea Party. What the hell do you think?
Look, dude, I think it might be time to call this whole thing a wash.
What do you mean?
Between your magic gun and my powers, we can blast a hole in the walls.
These are grown adults talking about magic completely straight. They're not self-aware. They think they're the f***ing X-Men.
You can teleport?
Yup, and you're about to see what else I can do.
Hammer time.
Damn right.
They're talking about a magic hammer. For the love of God, these are grown 30-year-olds talking about a magic hammer. Jesus Christ. It is nice of them, though, to include their live reaction to reading the script.
God.
And it's really accurate as Nella forgets who Erod is.
It's Linkara and what's his name? They're trying to bust through a wall.
Twice!
Crap, guys, look at the monitor. That's, I don't know everyone's name.
Erod!
Don't blame her.
This form is acceptable.
Acceptable? Asshole, I am a prize.
So much so, you had to beg to be put on the site. Okay, so Mike, J, Jerk, Poor and Lovecraft discover a lab with a monster inside it and start whispering, and to be honest, this voice acting is actually pretty good. But they even acknowledge their own laziness with cheap, uncreative fourth wall jokes.
I know you guys can't see this, but she is staring daggers at me right now.
The hell are you talking about?
They haven't fought us before.
I don't have anything inspiring to say. I just want to contribute.
But sometimes, occasionally, they do get a funny moment.
This house is home to an evil demon thing. We shouldn't go inside.
Because Oh, I suppose I hadn't thought about that.
Even Cybercat is awful. She's reading a story and gets interrupted, but her voice doesn't even change. It's exactly the same.
I dare not enter the maze myself to remove them, lest I unwittingly... Oh, you guys are back.
It's not hard, guys. You're just reading. You're not even in front of a camera. Just read the script. It's not difficult. Cybercat is awful. It's so obvious that she's reading the script every time she speaks.
Look, let's face it, we can't exactly make her come with us. We don't want to leave anyone alone with her to guard her, and we have no place to put her. At least now if she escapes, it's not like she'll do it at any critical moment.
You can practically hear the paper in the background. The plot doesn't even make any sense. Linkara missed the anniversary movies. You know, the ones where they were all abused.
The anniversaries were not fun times for us, Linkara.
Whatever your name is.
But then he breaks down about it and it's just pathetic.
I want us to come together and celebrate a wedding, a birthday, anything! I want us to stand around drinking beer and quoting the room at each other! I want us to sit around a TV and riff on bad movies together! I want us to go to a hotel room and film a crossover! I want to feel like we're a family again and not just a bunch of people who used to be on a website!
It's all Channel Awesome's fault that we weren't successful. So mean. The issue is, Marsgo even admits that he could have just arranged a meetup or a party. And at the end, they acknowledge that he could have just picked everyone up in his stupid little spaceship. So this entire thing doesn't make any sense. But I feel like we're missing a scene where Lewis can tell us just how much better he is than Doug Walker. Just once more.
I was never gonna put you guys in danger. I scouted this place for weeks before I sent out the invitations.
Much better. But even his mic quality sucks.
Whatever makes you happy, Hagen.
The point is, none of this was supposed to happen. I was gonna reveal it was me when we'd all finished the fun puzzles and exploring. I walked through it all myself, and there were no demons, no zombies, no devil dolls.
You're the director of this crap! Just reduce the background noise! You can tell whenever it's him and someone else because of the sheer background noise and then it just vanishes. Audacity is free, Lewis! It's not that hard! But Doug Walker can't record Skypes, he is useless! Linkara even apologises to everyone and pleads for their help. This is to boldly flee. This is now the second time Lewis has ripped off a film they all slated previously for being and have now attempted to use to insult that company like some bitter-ass pussies, and it's pathetic. Before some truly amazing pieces of dialogue.
They're back! Run like you're being chased by zombies!
They even steal jokes from Suburban Nights! Again!
Have you been carrying a sword this whole time?
Well, yes. A heck of a time getting it through customs, I'll tell you that.
There's no way they put this together and didn't realise the hypocrisy. Erod storms away from Linkara at one point because he doesn't smell as nice as Doug Walker or something. But then I think he just starts talking to all of his friends.
Okay, so I think some jerk with a camera was over there when everything started happening.
We're basically ghosts to them.
Yeah, let's try not to follow the same career path.
Already have by making this crock.
Isn't it nice that we only get together when someone we thought was our friend betrays us and puts us in a life or death situation?
I mean, that line doesn't even make any sense because he wasn't in the previous Channel Awesome movie, so why did he say it? Or was he? Who is it? I don't know. Pigeon hopscotch.
Honestly, I'm more disappointed than angry. He should know better than this.
Well, hey, at least we got an actual apology this time.
Granted.
It's just so distracting when they can't go 20 minutes without a jab at Channel Awesome. Let it go, guys! This was made about 18 months after the fact at this point. What makes it more cringy is the overly sentimental music that they add over the scenes. Yeah, you can tell Linkara made this. He's doing it again! I guess I'll give him credit for attempting to have a coherent story. I just don't give a shit. They attempt to have an intense action scene, but it's just so boring. But at least the music is good. Towards the end, Diamanda turns to the dark side of the croc, but it makes no sense. She's been a bitch for the entire thing, and now all of a sudden...
Diamanda, this isn't you. The voice is controlling you.
Wait, is this because you never got invited to any of those adventures we went on?
Except year 5. Oh, and get this writing.
You realize that the voice isn't going to stop with us, right? It'll destroy you and Haganistan too.
No, it won't, because of the reason. I'd explain, but you've proven too stupid to get it.
Never explained! But Channel Awesome's writing is lazy and incompetent.
None of us are okay. We're all doomed.
No disagreements here.
I feel like us reuniting has only made this whole thing worse.
No disagreements here.
Hey zombies, do you care if we're talking? I don't think they care.
See, this being audio, jokes like that fall flat. A lot of the time the humour just doesn't work with this format. But dear God, does this drag. I want all of you to write a letter of apology to boldly flee this instant.
I think that's the Dog Welshie's group encountered.
Encountered. He clearly just said encountered.
I think that's the Dog Welshie's group encountered.
Do you want to do another take? Anyone? No? Alright.
Still seems kinda stupid, frankly.
Yeah, well, I'm full of dumb decisions today.
This script being one of them.
Look at us! What the hell are we doing?
I'm wondering the same thing. The overly sentimental music is just pathetic. Mars Girl gives this forced speech about how they're all best friends. Look how good we are. It's just so cheesy. This is 2019 and it's treated like an animated Disney flick from the 1990s. They all come together and become best friends because we didn't need Channel Awesome except to get views. But other than that...
Great. More friends betraying us.
As long as it isn't Doug Walker not giving you his phone number, am I right, Erod? And then the sentimental music kicks back in and we get another deep scene of Linkara apologising to Mars Girl. Jesus Christ, Lewis, not everything needs to be this deep. You review nerd Bibles on the internet, for the love of God. Just make your videos, have your daily wank and f*** off. And then he tells Mars Girl just how amazing she is.
Truth be told, you should be the one doing that.
Nah, I'm no good at it.
But you are. So many times during the last few years, you were the one to take charge, to keep things focused and sound. And when everything was falling apart a little while ago, you were the one who stepped up and brought us together.
I'm gonna skin a cat.
Rob, I'm getting reports that you have murdered a kitten.
But I guess none of us asked to be here, which means we're all in this together. And at the end of the world, who could ask for anything more?
I swear to God, shut up! Stop sucking each other's dicks and just tell a coherent story! The big climax is this huge battle with a completely black screen. It's fantastic. Before they decide to complete the bullshittery bingo by letting Mars Girl sing again.
I remember doing the time warp. Drinking.
It's not even like they're remixing it with their own lyrics. It's not even like the song matches the story or their group. They just do the time warp because, well, Doug did a musical number, so we need to do one too. And at times, the vocals are a lot more quiet than the music, so they can't even mix the track down properly. Oh, and they do the entire song.
Well, I was walking down the street just having a think when I think of a guy giving me an emo wink.
The entire song.
Did we seriously just defeat a big bad by singing karaoke?
My sentiments exactly. Just thankful you didn't join in.
This is the worst show on cable.
So the house starts to collapse with no visualization. Yes, the perfect metaphor for Change the Channel. Then Kara tries to sacrifice himself because we're nothing like Channel Awesome! Mars Girl attempts to do drama again.
You
E-Rod, teleport!
Way ahead of you.
No, you're not. Otherwise you would have teleported before she asked you to. Why don't you just teleport outside?
Still can't teleport outside.
When did you try before? And why do you all think you're badasses with magic powers?
You did not have a swimming pool the last time we were here.
Well, maybe if we all kept in contact with each other, I'd be updating you on these little upgrades.
Well, you have. All you do is tweet each other about Channel Awesome. And it never seems to end. They chill out on Linkara's spaceship, and it keeps on going!
Yeah, it's certainly possible, though. Who knows what singing off-key would have done to it.
Well, Mars Girl helped you out there. This is painful to sit through. There's a couple of cool ideas and some funny moments, but the fact that it's almost the length of To Boldly Flee, which received heavy criticism, is a joke. I feel like this could have been solid if it was 90 minutes or at most 2 hours, but it also very often comes across as bitter ex-employees just slagging off their former boss for 3 hours. Awful mic quality, terrible voice acting, unfunny jokes, petty jabs, and not a whole lot of creativity. And this time, without any of Channel Awesome's involvement, they have absolutely no excuse. It's a bad one.